there's nothing incriminating in the file, sir, why not take us in?
That was President Donald Trump calling a Bloomberg News reporter a piggy aboard Air Force One. Happened on Friday. Now, this was not some random insult. This happened after she had the gall to ask about the Epstein emails. You know, the whole Epstein stuff that Trump really is desperate to, have hidden, and actually lost that fight. He switched his position. But again, when you cannot defend your position, and this applies to Trump, he attacks the person asking questions. Okay, I mean, instead of giving a presidential answer, which he doesn't do, or even a politician's non-answer, right? Because we've seen that plenty of times. No, he just insults her. That's it. And think about that. The president of the United States, when asked a legitimate question about his connections to a convicted sex trafficker, responds by insulting that journalist with a gendered slur. And it ain't the first time. It ain't the first time. This is the behavior of somebody who's more interested in silencing questions than obviously answering them. But here's what makes this even more revealing, right? So now Bloomberg News, after this happened, immediately put out a statement saying, quote, "Our White House journalists perform a vital public service, asking questions without fear or favor." That's not just defending one reporter, by the way. That's calling out Donald Trump's behavior for what it is. It is an attempt to intimidate journalists and try to avoid accountability. All right. So now there's more. April Ryan, who was a longtime White House correspondent, was referred to as Miss Piggy by a Trump administration official, Lynn Patton, back in 2018. Trump called Ryan a loser who, quote, "doesn't know what the hell she's doing the same year." Now, of course, Lynn Patton ended up having to apologize, but Trump doesn't apologize. He's never apologized in his goddamn entire life, okay? And so he's not going to apologize for this one. Now, in an interview with The Guardian, Ryan said that Trump's attack on the Bloomberg reporter was, quote, "beneath the dignity of the presidency." Quote, "The president is supposed to be, of the United States, is supposed to be the moral leader, the leader of the country, and he's acting like some thug on the street. It's one thing for his minions to say that, but for him to call a woman that also shows how upset he is about the Epstein files, and it lets us know that there's probably some fire there." Well, yes, because where there's smoke, there's fire, and there is a lot of smoke here, okay? I mean, it's like the meme, like, oh, this is fine, as the entire house is burning down around him. Okay, that's what's going on here. Now, she added, "Be careful how you call people names when you are in the pig pen yourself, getting ready to go up for the slaughter." I don't know. I love that quote. Yeah. Hey, you know what? If you live in a glass house, you better stop throwing rocks. Okay. Now, notice the timing, by the way. This happened right before Trump reversed his position on releasing the Epstein files. And when journalists are asking about that shift in position, obviously, he doesn't defend his changed stance. He just attacks people. He attacks the people asking the question, and still, by the way, is referring to the Epstein files as a hoax. Okay? I mean, if it's a hoax, then why do they actually exist? Because they do. They do. Why? You can't release something that's a hoax. Okay? The pattern here is crystal clear. Every time somebody asks Trump about Epstein, he either deflects, changes the subject, or personally attacks the person who is asking. Remember when he had called a CNN reporter nasty for simply asking about Epstein? Or when he walked away from questions about Ghislaine Maxwell? And now we have him saying, "Oh, quiet, Piggy," happening aboard Air Force One. Look, this isn't about political correctness, right? It's not about having a rough style, right? Which is what some people have used to defend this man. No, this is about a president who cannot handle legitimate journalistic scrutiny, especially when it involves his connections to one of the most notorious sex traffickers and PDFs, right, in history. When Trump cannot defend his position on this, he attacks the people asking questions. And when faced with legitimate journalistic scrutiny about his connection to convicted criminals, he resorts to childish insults and intimidation. This Piggy comment is not just inappropriate. It is absolutely revealing, and it shows exactly how this administration handles accountability, deflect, attack, avoid. Because if Trump were confident about his innocence, well, then he wouldn't need to do all the things that he's been doing. If this video helped you cut through the BS and see what is really happening, then smash that like button. Every single like pushes back against the right-wing propaganda machine. I can't do this work without your support. So please check out my Patreon. Link is in the description of this video. For a few bucks a month, you can help keep this channel independent from corporate BS. So hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's keep fighting for democracy and against fascism together.